Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of What's Happening Thursday with the FarOut Wilderness team. Today, I've got Callum, my marketing coordinator, and Abby, one of the owners, with us today. And today, we are chatting spring skiing, why it's awesome and why we love it. What does everybody think about spring skiing? Callum, I know you're a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's the best time of year in BC. It really is. So I would say there's a couple of factors to this. First of all, BC has some of the most technical terrain out there of any resorts, probably in the world. Like what is really, some of the best skiing is the cornice drops, the big bowls, the steeps. So it's very, very rocky terrain. As like an example, Seventh Heaven up on Whistler, which is like one of the best spots in the skiing world, in my opinion. Like those are like 6 foot tall boulders in the summer. It's so rocky up there, so it just takes a really long time for all of these runs to get like filled in to the max. So if you really like some like expert skiing, at places like Kicking Horse, at places like Whistler, at places like Fernie, you're going to get the top conditions by the spring because the base is just so big and it's so in. And the snow really doesn't stop. Like March is traditionally the snowiest month at Whistler Blackcomb. It's definitely one of the top months at other places like Fernie and Kicking Horse and Banff as well. So yeah, really like the powder days will still stack up. More sun.
Nice. So I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
like.
just a
So
great
those
combo.
some of those bowls and play like in Whistler and things, are they not as good in December, or they still it just are they accessible in December and January?
Yeah, so December is an interesting month. So January, everything will be good to go. For the most part, actually, recently at Whistler, it's a bit unfortunate, but like on the Blackcomb Glacier, due to glacial recession, now that really tends to just be a March spot because the entrance used to have a glacier covering it, which is mostly unfortunately melted. So it takes a lot of snow to get that filled in. So like January, everything's good to go at Whistler. December really depends on the year. 2024, December was the best month of the ski season. Like the base was in, the powder days were stacking. It was fantastic. There have been seasons where you're not even seeing Seventh Heaven Open in December. Not even
Yeah.
seeing half the runs off the peak. So yeah, so it really just depends. I mean, December is always going to be a popular time to ski because everyone's got holidays off. They got the Christmas spirit in the village, so you're going to have a good time regardless. But if you're going primarily with excellent skiing as your objective and like you want fantastic conditions regardless, that's the most important thing to you. March is the month you should be going for sure.
Nice. And
I I think from a different angle though, like in recent years I've been skiing with two small children, now age 7 and 4. And actually there's just so much fun to be had in spring skiing. Like you look at spring break as an opportunity or even like early March as an opportunity for learning and down on the groomers. And there's just also a great vibe of like family skiing that time as well. So that's been some highlights for me.
well, and the appo skiing so much nicer at that time of year. You got the sunshine in the in the afternoon, and you sit out on the patio with a beer after skiing. I mean, it's fantastic. Not that that's the only reason I go skiing, but
Oh,
Sure.
it's a great reason. I mean, so at Whistler, you'll often see as the spring days kind of come on and things end later, people will start sticking a beer up in the snow at the top of Spanky's Ladder on Whistler. They'll go do a lap. They'll come back. The beer will be cold. They'll like hang up there until like 5 after ski patrol's done all their checks, ski all the way to the bottom in the evening.
Yeah.
where like obviously sometimes in spring it gets a little bit slushy as the day goes on. Like, what are some of the considerations people need to take when they're skiing, and where should they go? Like, what are some of the best locations to go for spring skiing?
Yeah, I would say the mountains that are at their absolute best in the spring are going to be Whistler, Kicking Horse, Banff Sunshine, and Fernie. There are a couple spots, for example, like Revelstoke has a ton of really good terrain in the bottom half of the mountain, but some of it will be melted out as you get further into March, and that happens with Whistler as well. Like is legendary for it's 5,200 feet. Revelstoke is 5,500. Someone correct me. Something like that. 5,700 feet. It's a lot of vertical.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the bottom of Whistler will often be a little bit melted, but the best skiing is really up at the top I would say if you're on a day where there's not like fresh snow overnight, which there often is because it's almost always falling below freezing overnight. If you've just got a couple sunny days, you might want to sleep in a little bit more, which isn't the worst thing in the world. If it's a day where there's no fresh snow, like you're gonna want the mountain to slush up
Yeah.
just a little bit for the groomers and everything. So roll out of bed, start the ski day at 10. We've done a lot of 5 a.m. wake ups by March, so it's
Yeah, yeah. But I think
it's a
I
good
think it's
change.
also there's just such diversity, right, in terms of areas of altitude that you can go to. And it really is still winter in those places. So you're not just going to go for it's not slushy snow left, right, and center. Like, yes, like down maybe at the low elevation, or they have to change that a little bit. But there is some technique and skill involved in that. And I think, you look at the extremes of it, and I remember Sam one year. I think we were on Whistler Blackcomb, and I think it was down to like -42 or something ridiculous with the wind chill.
Oh, that
And it
was
was like the
in
cold, it
February,
was
though,
like
wasn't
the
it?
February, yeah, but coldest day skiing. And then you go to like March this last year, we're on Mount Washington on the island, and it's like, yeah, family friendly location, smaller ski hill, but just great fun, like playing around in the snow in the afternoon, and learning some ski legs again through some of the slush.
Yeah, and we definitely didn't need as many layers in spring skiing as we did yeah, in February, which actually is a good point. What's some of the best like things to wear and like in spring? Do you need to adjust what your gear you've got, or like I don't what's everyone's thoughts?
Hawaiian shirts are mandatory for sure. Yeah, people will let their hair down some more. No, in all seriousness, you might want a darker pair of goggles. The sun can be a bit hard on the eyes,
I
especially if
guess
you get like
sunscreen as well, hey?
oh, sunscreen is so mandatory. Yeah, I mean any sunny day on the slopes, like the reflection up from the snow can burn you as well as just like the sun directly down. So yeah, I mean, we only get like 8 hours of sunlight in the dead of winter in BC, so the sun's not really like the UV index isn't very high. But once you get to like March and April, it's up there. Yeah, you don't want a goggles tan. So yeah, lots of sunscreen. And if you have like glacier goggles or something like super good, those are super great. I typically have a fairly dark pair of lenses. I'll often pop a pair of sunglasses under them on the really bright spring days. But yeah, lighter layers for sure. Layering is always good. You can pop the jacket off, tie it around your waist as the day goes on. But again, like there are a lot of powder days in the spring. So I've had a lot of ski days on March 20th where it's often like -5. It's not -40, -20, but -5, like that can still get kind of cold for a
Well,
lot of
and
people.
like the driving conditions are tend to be much better in the spring as well, right? Like I think we were chatting to the Winter Driving Alliance, and they said like historically March is the safer of the winter months on the highways. So like conditions are a lot easier for getting around, which is again great for families, great for makes a perfect spring break trip, right?
Yeah, province wide like crashes and other things are typically down in March, but Abby was talking about like the altitudes, so that's something to be super aware of. So if you're in the interior around Revelstoke or something, if you're down by the Columbia River, it's going to be like 5 degrees, 10 degrees, sunny. You'll go up, you'll hit the ice as it turns kind of to winter, driving up a little bit further. Might be snow on the road if you're at one of those secret ski spots
Which we won't
I
divulge.
can't say it too loudly, but yeah, that really happens over there in some of those secret spots in the Coos. But yeah, just something to we want to keep everyone's driving safety up. So I'll mention, yeah, if you're in one of those Kootenay passes, just be ready for those changes in elevation because you got a good drive up to the hill.
Yeah, and
Couple
I
of
guess
hills
the
there.
spring is also a great time. Like the resorts put on, like there's a lot more outdoor events and festivals and things and demo days. And do you also find that it's a great time to get like secondhand gear or stock, a good time to buy like ex demo gear or things like that?
For sure. Yeah, Abby, you want to jump in on this one?
Well, no, I was just going to say, it was actually quite fun last season to really take advantage of some of the shops and outlets that were doing demo days, and they would, basically give you free rentals pretty much for the day. Or you could go and swap them out and try different things. So if you're in the market and you're still trying to figure out what it is you're looking for, and or for me it's been finding comfortable boots. I've got really wide feet, but it's just been a nightmare trying to find comfortable boots. So being able to try those out and try different styles, and just know that you can go out for a few hours, try them, and come back and try something else that's not comfortable. Again, it's a great time of year to be playing with that and doing that for the following season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
demo
for
days
sure.
are great in the spring because if you get a day, especially a slushy day, I had a day like this at Whistler, so you can go up if you have skis and gear. You can do a demo day for like 25 bucks for the whole day. You have to swap out your skis every 2 hours. So I started the day on like the skinniest ski I've ever ridden on. It was like 75 millimeter. It felt so weird. I felt like I was in the Alps, but it was great to get an edge into the ice in the morning. I swapped it out for a Mindbender 99 as the day went on. The metal in that ski really dampened the little bit of crud and stuff that was in there, and then I was on a Fisher Ranger for the end of the day, which was great for the slush, for sure. But yeah, and spring, if you're looking to buy new skis, in particular, like think like 2 years ago models in the spring. There's still some of those hanging on typically in the shop. So I saw like a Mindbender 108 in a Whistler shop that was like selling for like 300 bucks. That's like an $800 ski new, but it was like
Wow.
it was spring of 2025 and it was 2023 ski, so that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, for
Abby, you
sure.
should go to Surefoot for the boots there. I'm We're not affiliated with them in any way, but Surefoot is
They just got a
they
free
solved
shout
all
out.
my. Oh yeah, they just got a free shout out. But yeah, they solved all my sore feet problems skiing.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, appreciate you all taking the time to listen to us chat on about spring skiing. I think the consensus is pretty clear. It's a great time to go skiing, great time to plan a ski trip in BC or Alberta. And Callum, Abby, it's been fantastic chatting to you guys as always. And for everyone that tuned in to listen, thank you very much. And join us next time for What's Happening Thursday. Take care.